Hi children, today let's study about the conservation of plants and animals. The earth is full of living beings and non-living beings. Among living beings, you have plants as well as animals. Lakhs and lakhs of plants, lakhs and lakhs of species of animals. They stay on the earth and they are all interdependent. It's a very important aspect. All animals and plants are interdependent. They help each other. They enable each other to survive on this earth. Without plants, animals cannot live at all. Not possible. So how are they conserved? Conserving them. We should see that all animals and plants are safeguarded. They are saved. We give room for or make room for all different kinds of animals to exist on this earth. All different plants to survive on the earth. Because we know very well that plants and animals, they all mutually dependent on each other. You can't think of any species separately. They are all interdependent. Now here some terminologies we come across. The first one, biosphere. Biosphere. Part of the earth that supports life is called the biosphere. It is here that all living organisms exist. When we say living organisms, you have plants, you have animals. What does this picture depict? Human palms are there, the two palms. You are holding a part of the soil there on which you find the deer as well as the tree. We, the human beings, we consider ourselves as intelligent. We feel that we are controlling everything. So is it not of paramount importance that we take care of all animals and plants and see that mutually we are all dependent, help each other in order to survive and see that peace is maintained. So biosphere is part of the earth that supports life, is called biosphere. It can be a tundra biosphere, tundra. It can be a grassland biosphere. It can be a tropical forest. Or it can be the ocean, the depths of the ocean. There is a biosphere. You have animals there, you have plants there, they help each other, they all live together. So, such parts of the world where animals and plants support each other and live together, you call it as a biosphere. It is here that all living organisms exist. You have all living organisms, they cooperate with each other. Biodiversity, diverse, different, varieties, you call it as diverse. Bio means living beings. Diversity, you find diversity among them, variety of organisms that exist on the earth. Their interrelationships, how do they enable each other to survive? How do they live together? And their relationship with their environment. How do they survive in this environment? Is called the biodiversity. Varieties of animals and plants, they all live together, enable each other survive. It's a communion. They all stay together and live together. This is called as biodiversity. Varieties of plants and animals are there and they all live together. And wildlife sanctuary. We know wildlife are endangered today. Lots of wild animals are almost very close to extinction. Extinction. They are getting wiped out from the earth. This is not from the right angle. It's not good for the humanity too, for the survival of the animals. So this is a protected area where animals can live in their natural habitat without any disturbance. You choose a particular portion of the forest, you get it fenced if necessary, and allow the animals to live there in the natural circumstances. Trees are there, the river is flowing, and animals can live on their own. We don't come in the way, we don't disturb them, we don't hunt them. They are saved. And we keep a close watch on their survival, and in case they need any help, that help is extended. We see that animals do survive in that allotted area of the forest without any impediment from outside. Next, National Park. This is a reserved area for wildlife, allowing them to freely use the available habitats and natural resources. National parks, they are reserved areas. Especially you reserve some area for wildlife, allowing them to freely use the available habitats. That entire area is for them. They can freely use. We may go there to watch them, see them, enjoy their life, see and enjoy. People may pay visits, but still animals are not harmed. Animals can live on their own. They are allowed to make a free use of all the available resources there and natural resources. That land belongs to them. It's a park where they are ensured of a good life. It's our responsibility to see that they are saved and they are conserved. Next, Biosphere Reserve. We know what a biosphere is. Part of that land where animals and plants, they all live together. Biosphere reserves are larger areas of land which aim to conserve the wildlife as well as the traditional life of the tribals living in the area. Say, near Ooty, Kodaikanal or the Western Ghats, tribals live there. We don't want to remove the tribals there. Tribals stay there. We educate the tribals. And tribals take care of the animals and plants there. They stay in their natural habitat along with plants and animals and see that animals and plants do exercise their right and live there happily in the natural environment. They are not killed. They take care of them. So we have to educate the tribals as to why such biosphere reserves are required. Maybe to some extent they may have to cut some trees for getting their hut built. To that extent they are given permission. But haphazardly they cannot cut the trees and destroy the forest. They should take all care to see that animals and plants survive in that area that is allotted to them. Besides, they too should live happily in that environment. Now such a place is called as a Biosphere Reserve. It's a reserve area. Then deforestation and its causes. You see, this is a biosphere. You have forests here, hills here, some fields are also found, a river or a lake is here, and there are tribals too. The tribals live here. They take care of the animal and plant life. So that's a biosphere. Now deforestation. Forests are cut. The amount of forests what we had 100 years ago and what we have today, there is a big difference. About 80 to 85% of India was full of forests 100 years ago. Today it has got reduced to about 15%. From 85% it has come down to 15%. Man has occupied land everywhere. So, the animal world, the plant world, their survival is under a big question mark. Why do we cut forests? Why do forests get dwindled? Why do forests get cleared out? Deforestation means clearing of forests for different purposes. Purposes are different, such as timber. One thing is, we get timber from trees. So they smuggle out timber. They cut trees and smuggle out. From timber you make furniture, you construct buildings, and timber turns to be raw material for various other goods too, and other uses of land. What other uses? If you cut trees, clear an area, you can have agriculture there. You can grow crops. So men would think in the terms of clearing the forest, using it for agricultural purposes. Maybe they want to put up a tourist center there. So they cut trees. They have to come out with big resorts there, gardens there. So they start cutting trees. So for selfish, keeping in view selfish interests, man, in order to build resorts, big constructions, hotels, or even to develop roads, or for agriculture, for various reasons, man has been clearing forests. This has to come to a halt. If we don't have forests, we won't have good rains. Seasons will not function properly. There will be disturbance. Deforestation means clearing of forests for different purposes such as timber and other uses of land. Major reasons are the following. Let's see them now. See, major reasons for deforestation. Such trees which give us food, which give us timber, which give us rain, they are cut. By cutting them, we are getting our own base, our own firm base, axed. Here, paper. For paper we cut trees. Softwood trees are cut for the reason that they give us paper. We can manufacture paper. See here, spoons. These spoons are made from timber. Chopsticks from timber. Wooden pencils. We use millions and millions of pencils world over. They all come from trees. Bats, they come from trees. Wooden beds are constructed out of the wood we obtain from trees. Then here you have this wooden door, a beautiful wooden door. The wooden door is an outcome of a tree that has been felled and whatever craft work you have done. Then here you have wooden chairs. They all come from wood. Using wood as fuel. Wood is also used for burning. Fuel to make furniture and for industrial purposes. For example, wood pulp is used for making paper. So industrial purposes, wood is, we obtain wood from trees, we fell trees mercilessly. Next. Okay. As population goes on increasing, we need more and more land for human survival. To see that we have the dwelling sites, we build constructions, we live happily, we grow food, we start cutting trees And see here, the road, the buildings, the entire infrastructure we have to set. Forests are cleared. Mercilessly we clear the forests. Then forest fires due to global warming or maybe certain other natural reasons may be there for such forest fires. It can be the activities of hooligans even. Some do take pleasure in getting forests burnt, or they get forests burnt for their personal benefit. If the forest gets cleared slowly, they can occupy and have agriculture there. So burning forests and severe droughts. The rise in global temperature gives room for severe droughts. No rains. The drought may lead to forest fire again. Due to droughts, the trees may start getting dried up. That may lead to fire. Also lead to deforestation. These are also the reasons. They may shed their leaves. They may dry up, giving room for fire. Here you have a city coming up. Lots of building sites you see. Colonies are coming up. Constructions are going on. Vacant lots are cleared. Vacant lots. And you have industrial reasons. Transport, parking, vehicles need space. Vehicles have to move. Roads are required. Then institutions. You will have educational institutions, health institutions, then parks, commercial markets, malls and all. Then you have, you use it for various purposes, mainly residential purpose too. Houses have to be built. Every family should have a house. Now all these make forests get dwindled. Forests are clear and man starts doing everything, bringing about all the needed changes for a pleasant, pleasurable life for himself. So using the land for building houses and factories. Factories do come up. We call these as urban areas then. Urban areas. Forests turn into urban cities. Here, clearing woods to procure land for cultivation. See, forests were there, but here the forest has been cleared and it has become an agricultural field. Man has begun tilling the land and he grows crops. Crops are not identical to forests. If you grow crops, that won't get you rains. There's a big difference between a thick forest and an agricultural area. This greenery is not enough to bring about a substantial change in the environment. So woods are clear and you move for developing agricultural land. Next, let's see the consequences of deforestation. Yes, we cut forests. Trees are cut. What happens next? What's the outcome? Deforestation causes increase in pollution level of the earth. Pollution level goes up. More the pollution, definitely the plant life gets obstructed. See here, for timber purpose, forests are being dwindled, forests are being cut. See the wooden logs there and the trucks are removing them, carrying them. Here, the forest is getting clear. You have the stumps here after cutting the tree. Increase in carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. When all the trees are cut, when you don't have plants, you will not be able to get carbon dioxide lowered. You don't have that mechanism in nature. Mainly the trees that absorb carbon dioxide and give out oxygen to the atmosphere. Oxygenation of the atmosphere is a key job of the forest. Forests do a big job for us. If all the trees in the world they are cut, man will not be able to survive even for one more day. Maybe in an hour or two, he will perish. Man will perish because we don't get oxygen. Oxygen. We get oxygen thanks to the plants. Increase in temperature or global warming. Global warming, due to that, temperature increases. When temperature increases, you have varieties of changes in nature. Lowering of the level of groundwater. When trees are cut, ground gets dried up soon. So groundwater starts disappearing. It starts getting evaporated. The groundwater level will start going down. The trees actually, they keep the soil wet. They keep the soil very well protected. They don't allow soil to dry up. Now, we will not be able to enjoy any of these benefits because we are clearing the forests. Decrease in rainfall. Nature, balance of nature gets disturbed. Rainfall, it decreases. We won't have the needed rains. Decrease in the fertility of the soil. When trees are not there, water starts taking away the topsoil. The topsoil is protected by the roots of the trees. When you don't have trees, you don't have a mechanism or agency to prevent soil from getting washed out. So decrease in the fertility of the soil. As the soil gets washed out, what you call as erosion, even the fertile aspects in the soil, they too get washed out. Soil becomes dry, fertility goes away, it turns into a desert. It turns into a desert, as it happened in Arizona in the United States of America about 100 years ago, because of continuous practices of growing crops using fertilizers, seeing that more and more production is there in the farmlands. Without a planned methodology, they went on using fertilizers, growing more and more crops, and today Arizona has turned into a desert. A desert, they are not in a position to grow anything. Agriculture is impossible because the sand, the soil there has lost all its fertility. It is not in a position to hold water at all. Entire state of Arizona has turned into a desert because of the steps taken by man. Because man had been anti-nature there. He never thought of nature and his responsibility to preserve nature. Okay, increase in the changes of natural calamities such as droughts and floods. Sometimes droughts, sometimes floods. Seasonal rainfall gets disturbed. The regularity in rainfall won't be seen. When you have rains, heavy rains will be there. There will be floods. When you don't have rains, you have drought and total destruction. See here, here's a picture where trees have been grown in the shape of human lungs. That's only from artistic point of view, our two lungs. What does it say? The trees, the vegetation, the forest, they are our lungs. They are like our lungs. We get oxygen because of the forest. And here too, here destruction has taken place. The pleura, the air sacs in the lungs, they are getting destroyed for some reason, and there won't be enough air sacs to contain air and arrange for transmission of gases between blood and the outside air that gets into the lungs. So it is a symbolic representation of saying that trees and forests are our lungs, Without trees and forests, we will not be able to survive. Next. Here, earth has been cut symbolically, and one part is dry, one part is green. What happens if all the trees disappear? You will have a desert-like situation. Why would deforestation lead to an increase of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and global warming? We said deforestation leads to increase in carbon dioxide. How does it happen? Why does it happen so? And that leads to global warming. Let's see it here. Plants use carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. You have learnt, all this you have learnt already. And release oxygen, maintaining the atmospheric balance. So plants maintain the atmospheric balance. Plants see that there is enough oxygen in the atmosphere. Fewer trees mean that less carbon dioxide will get recycled in this manner. You have less number of trees, less forest. What happens? Carbon dioxide will not be converted into oxygen because you don't have trees. Trees have to do that job. Forests, vast expanses of forests have to do that job. Carbon dioxide traps heat. What happens to the increased carbon dioxide in the atmosphere? As it increases, automatically heat gets trapped. In the atmosphere, heat gets trapped. With that, the temperature in the atmosphere starts picking up. Carbon dioxide traps heat, catches hold, traps. Heat rays reflected by the earth, which increases in temperature and the earth, temperature on the earth, and leads to global warming. The global temperature starts increasing. Here you see this picture. This is atmosphere. This tree gives out oxygen. A very simple diagrammatic picture to explain. And from here, animals and plants, they use oxygen for their survival. Oxygen used by the animals and plants. And plants, for photosynthesis, they use carbon dioxide, which is given out by animals and plants during respiration. And once again, oxygen gets let out. With that, the balance gets maintained in nature. The sun is here. Okay, next. The drought. Because of global temperature rise, you will have drought. How does deforestation cause droughts and reduction in rainfall? How is that? Deforestation leads to less rainfall. Deforestation leads to droughts. Let's see that. When trees are cut down, when forests are cleared, cut down, the percentage of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere increases. We discussed it just now. Which causes global warming. Global warming. Temperature rises. Moreover, plants absorb water from the soil. Plants need water. They absorb water from the soil and release it in the air. They release water into the air through transpiration. From the leaves in the tree, water gets let out into the atmosphere through the stomata. You call it as transpiration. It's an ongoing job in the case of all plants. It is this moisture in the air which eventually turns into clouds. What plants give out, that turns into clouds and returns to earth as rainfall. It's a cycle. Again the clouds pour rain, shower rain, and rain gets into earth. Deforestation and increase in temperature on the earth disturb the water cycle. Now if you continue with the deforestation, it will disturb and increase in the global temperature. That will upset the balance on this earth. It upsets the balance, which leads to a reduction in rainfall and droughts. You will have less rainfall, and you will have droughts everywhere. Next, what is desertification and how is it caused? Deserts get developed, more and more deserts will be there. The deserts expand, they spread. How does it happen? Desertification is the process by which a fertile land turns into a desert. Fertile lands, that's what we are seeing in this world. They are getting converted into deserts. Deforestation is a major cause of desertification as it exposes the top layer of soil to natural forces. When the water content comes down, automatically what happens? Wind, water and sunlight, all these result in the top soil getting dry. The wind will blow away the topsoil. Water, when soil erosion is there, soil gets washed out. Sunlight will make it dry. So all these three run detrimental to our survival on this planet. With no roots to hold the soil, it gets eroded quickly. And the lower, hard and rocky layers of the soil get exposed. The topsoil gets exposed. These layers have less humus. Now they won't have humus because you don't have trees. When trees are not there, how will humus get produced? And are less fertile. When humus is not there, soil becomes unfertile. Gradually, fertile lands turn into deserts. You won't have plants, you won't have greenery, and ultimately that particular piece of land too turns into a desert. Here you see, this is the green part. The desert is expanding stage by stage. If you don't take care, deserts expand. They spread everywhere. Next, how does deforestation affect the quality of soil? You see here deforestation has taken place. What do you see? How is the soil here? The water that flows has taken away the soil. Trenches have got formed. The topsoil has been washed out. See the condition of earth here. It's all man-made. Man has been responsible. He has cut the forest and that has led to such a situation. The forests add humus to the top layer of the soil. The innumerable number of trees in the forest, they add humus to the soil. Their roots hold the soil together. The roots of the plants hold the soil well. They don't allow the soil to get washed out. Now you don't have roots. You don't have humus because you don't have trees. And allow the surface water to seep into the soil. Surface water seeps into the soil. As it seeps, water goes deeper and deeper. Due to desertification, soil erosion takes place. When desertification is there, you have soil erosion. Physical properties of the soil change and it becomes less fertile. Soil undergoes a physical transformation. It becomes less fertile now. Nutrient content is less now. You don't have the nutrient content. That's what you call as fertility. Humus is no more. And texture changes. Soil texture, it gets a desert sand texture, desert soil texture. You will not be able to grow plants now. And the water holding capacity of the soil decreases, which may lead to floods. It cannot hold water. And when floods are there, you will have drastic changes. Total disturbance will be there.